are. Perfect. We're going to start seated on our mat in an easy seated position. It's called easy pose because it's supposed to be comfortable. Generally, we sit with one leg bent in and the second in front, not crossed. Sorry, I have a participant in my house who was facing the wrong direction. If this is not comfortable for you, you may want to use some props to make it more comfortable. You can use a pillow to put underneath you. It just sits you up a little bit higher. It raises your hip level, makes it a little more open here. You might also choose to put a pillow under a leg if your knees are way up like this and you want a little cushioning on the side. If you are finding that you're way up, go ahead and push them down. But try not to cross them. It's not a crisscross applesauce situation. You want one foot in front of the other if possible. Perfect. We're going to sit up nice and tall as if there's a hook and eye at the top of your head, reaching up to the ceiling, your spine nice and straight. We're going to close our eyes, take a nice inhale, and exhale. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose or mouth. If you're suffering from allergies, then mouth inhaling and exhaling is okay as well. As you breathe, notice where the air is going. Are you someone that's breathing by lifting your shoulders and releasing those shoulders? Are you filling your belly or your chest? Are you filling the back? Anywhere is good to send air, with the exception of the shoulders. We do not want to breathe in this way and out that way. Our shoulders should always remain down, away from our ears. Take 3 more breaths here. And go ahead and unopen the eyes. If you are new to yoga, this is your first time, or even if you're practicing yoga, any basic yoga class is good for you. You will want to determine the front of your mat. Usually the front of your mat is one of the shorter ends. I am sitting this way for the purpose of the video, but you'll want your video in front of you because you'll be facing that video the majority of the time. I'll give verbal clues and visual clues. If you're not comfortable with any of the postures, don't do them. Biggest rule of yoga is it should never hurt. Never go past a point that's comfortable. Let's go ahead and inhale our arms up and exhale the arms down. Inhale the arms up. And on the exhale, drop the right arm behind you, left arm to right knee. Twist to the right. Sorry, I'm mirroring. I have to go the other way. So you'll see me move left when I say right. Part of the thing I'm working on. Inhale, arms to center. Exhale, twist back to the right. Try to keep those shoulders down, away from ears, head straight up. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist to the left, to the right. Holding here for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, arms back up to center. Exhale the hands down in front of you. Walk them slowly forward if you can. Maybe this is as far as you get today. If you can go a little farther, keep walking. With every inhale, lift the body up. With every exhale, see if you can walk a little farther down. We'll hold it for 2, 1, and slowly bring yourself back up. Inhale the arms high. Exhale, drop the left arm behind you, twist to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist left. Holding here for 3, 2, 1. Arms up, inhale. Exhale, bring the hands to the side. There are a couple different branches of yoga. There is yin yoga and yang yoga. The yang yoga is what you hear most about. It's things like hatha, vinyasa, bikram, all those different classes that are going on regularly. Yin yoga is a little less popular. It is a very static type yoga. Equally as good. A yin yoga would have us reach our arms up and hold them up for 2-3 minutes, sometimes 5 minutes. And then as we twist to the side, it would have you hold that twist for 2, 3, 5 minutes, sometimes as long as 6 or 7 minutes. Yin yoga gets into the deep fascia of the muscles, the deep postures of the muscles, whereas the yang yoga, the hatha, the vinyasa, all that stuff moves your body in strengthening and flexibility. Both have wonderful practices. If you ever get a chance to take a yin class, I recommend it. I don't teach it because I don't fully understand it, but I have done some yin yoga classes together. So what we're going to do today is a very slow yang vinyasa type class. My practice is based in the Ashtanga and Hatha yoga, so that's where we're going to be today. Again, we're going to go through some very basic postures to keep you in line on the best places to be. So we're going to start in child's pose. You're going to move yourself on your mat with your toes touching, knees hip width apart. Again, you're going to always be facing the front of your mat. I will move around, but you will always be facing that front of your mat. So your toes will be touching, your knees will be bent. For some people, this might not be comfortable. So you can put a pillow to boost behind your knees. Or you may find that you need to put a little cushioning on the knees itself. Fold your mat over. Now you have some extra cushioning. It's what fits your body. Yoga should never, ever hurt. Some people like a wide legged child's pose. Some like to keep together. You're going to get a chance to play around in the poses that you'd like. So let's go with a wide leg for now. You sit your hips back, you drop the chest to the floor, walk your hands out. If you can touch your head to the mat, great. If you can't quite get your head down, again, a pillow, a block would come in handy. You can rest on that. Child's pose is a restorative pose. It's a break. Anytime you're taking a yoga class, if you were feeling overwhelmed, overworked, out of breath, this is where you come. Child's pose is your friend. I've known people that have sat in child's pose an entire class. It's all based on your comfortability level. When our arms are straight out in front of us, this is an active child's pose. You should feel the stretch down your back, through your hands. We're trying not to round the back. We'll change directions here. Our goal is not to have a round back, but a flat back. If you had an instructor there, they should be able to put their hands on the back of your shoulders and push in that straight line. This is an active child's pose. Now you can pull your hands back just a little bit, bend the arms. This is a less active pose. Equally as good, equally as restorative, just not active strong through the arms. You can wrap your arms behind you along the side. This is the easiest of the child's pose. It's often called embryo. So take a few moments and play around here. Move the arms to the different locations. Maybe move your legs in tight. Maybe move them out to that wide leg. Maybe check and see, do you need something between your legs? A towel or a blanket could go in between the crooks of your knees. Excuse me. If you need a little extra space in there, that also works. Take a moment to feel around here. Once you find your preferred child's pose, then just slowly swing the hips in that pose. And as you breathe in, send the breath to that lower back. for 2 more breaths. 2, 1, return to center. Take your right hand, walk it over on top of the left. So now you should feel a slight arch on your side. This is your crescent moon, child's pose. You make a nice arc from your arms to your hips. Send the left hip off to that side. Sorry, the right hip. Again, I'm mirroring, so it's a little bit backwards. Send that right hip over to the corner. Feel the full stretch all the way from your hips down your left side through those hands. Take a nice inhale, and on the exhale, walk the hands to the other side of the mat. Shift the hip to the corner. Again, crescent moon, child's pose. It's an active pose, but a restorative pose. As you breathe, you're breathing in to that back space. One more inhale here, and then walk the hands back to center. On the inhale, come on up to tabletop. In a tabletop position, shoulders are above the wrist, hips are above the knee. Again, you might find you need a little extra padding. So blankets, towels, whatever it is that you need, you can put under your knees. If you have sore wrists, then it's not a bad idea to make a fist with your wrist. This adds a nice locking posture down the arms, or you can keep your hands here. Your toes in the back should be loose. You should be able to kick your feet around. You don't want to grip the mat with your toes. That's only going to make you tired. And now that you're here, drop the belly, lift the chest, take an inhale to your cow pose. Look up towards that ceiling. Then on the exhale, we undo that by rounding out the spine, dropping chin to chest, cat, like an angry cat at Halloween. Inhale to your cow. Exhale to your cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. One more time, inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And then we return to neutral spine. Your neutral spine should be nice and flat along the back. Again, knees and hips aligned, shoulders and wrists aligned. If they're not aligned, you'll feel it. Go ahead and take a quick shift back. You should feel more pressure on your knee than what you did before. Take a shift forward. You should feel more pressure on the wrists than you did before. Shift back to neutral. They should feel aligned. You should feel the difference in those parts. Now let's go ahead and flip the wrists over for just a quick moment. Flip one wrist at a time, just to kind of stretch them out. They do a lot of work in yoga. Flip the left, flip the right. Then return to neutral. Anytime you're doing standing postures, many of them can be done in this tabletop position as well. If you don't have the balance or the strength of the standing postures, you can always work with them in a tabletop position. Let's go ahead and extend the right leg out behind us, keeping those toes down. Go ahead and lift that right leg up, pushing towards that back wall. Feel the alignment from the top of your head all the way down to the back of your foot. Then extend the left arm out in front of you, like an arrow. Take a nice inhale, and on the exhale, crunch knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Crunch. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, extend. Return the left hand to the mat, leaving the leg extended. This time, point the toe behind you and lift it up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Return the right leg to the mat, sit back, child's pose. Child's pose gives us a moment to reset the knees, reset the breath, reset the hands. Knock the dirt off the mat because your living room floor really needs to be vacuumed. Also a good time to do that. On the inhale, come back up to tabletop. Set to neutral pose. This time, extend the left leg behind you. Reaching out those toes, feeling that straight line all the way up through the hips, through the head. Then lift that left leg, extend the right hand. Take an inhale, and on the exhale, crunch, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend. Drop that right hand. Point the back toe as we lift for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Return the knee to tabletop. Sit back, child's pose. Taking a couple breaths here. When you're ready, we'll meet back in tabletop. If you have some blocks handy, yoga blocks are great. If not, I've been using Harry Potter books. You might want them nearby. I have a Harry Potter books 6 and 4, I believe. Yes, 6 and 4 are of equal size. You can go ahead and put them on either side of your mat by your hands. Then go ahead and place your hands up on top of those blocks. You can use those two, whichever you have. All you're doing here by putting your hands on top of the blocks is lifting the floor to you. You've added 2, 3 more inches to your grasp. Now bring the right leg up behind you and step it through between the hands. Low lunge position. Maybe you need your hands in a fist. Sorry, for those that don't know, I do have a participant in the house with me who is laughing at himself at the moment. So sorry. If you need to make the fist with your hands again, and just lift those blocks up. Do not put much pressure on that back knee. You should be able to bounce that back knee off your foot. On the inhale, rise up, low lunge. Making sure that shoulders are away from ears. You don't want your arms up here. You want your arms down there. Never crunch those shoulders. Always keep them down. Feeling that hip opener along the front. Exhale, return your hands to the mat or to your blocks. Keeping the left hand on your block. Turn open, low lunge twist. Extending up through the ceiling, looking at those fingers. Again, not making sure there's not too much weight back there. You should be able to bop that knee up if you need to. On the exhale, return to low lunge. Tuck the left toes, lift the leg, runner's lunge. You should be a straight line from the back heel all the way through the top of your head. Feeling that stretch both directions. Making sure that you're not sinking into that knee, using those blocks to lift you if you need to, keeping that back flat, trying not to hunch forward. Drop the back knee, flip the toes, step that right leg back to tabletop, pull back to child's pose. On the inhale, come back up to tabletop. Again, keep your blocks up front just to make that floor come up to you. Send the left leg behind you Point those toes, and then step the left leg through the hands, low lunge. Keep that knee 90 degrees above your ankle. No main pressure on that back knee. Place the right hand, or keep the right hand on your block, peel open, low lunge twist. Looking towards the ceiling, stretching those fingers and hands, feeling that line of the shoulders square. Return the left hand to the floor. I forgot to have you lift your hands, so let's go ahead and lift our hands, low lunge. Again, keep those shoulders away from ears. It's one of the main things most people do incorrectly. I do it all the time. I always have to reset my shoulders down. Reset those shoulders down. Exhale, hands to the mat. Tuck those right toes, lift the back leg, runner's lunge. Again, try to make that straight line from the top of the head all the way through the back, through that back leg. Drop the back knee, untuck the toes, move that front leg back into tabletop, sit back, child's pose. One more breath here. Return to tabletop. This time we're going to tuck both of our toes behind us. We're going to push our ups with our knees, reach with our hips into our first downward facing dog. Do not be worried if your legs are bent and your heels do not touch the ground. If you are here right now, that is okay. Not everybody's dog is a V. I've already done yoga today, so my dog looks okay right now. My first one of the day never does. Shoulders are pushed back from the wrist. You don't want to be over them. That's a plank. You want to be pushed back. Hips as high up as they go. Your hips up is more important than anything else. So if your knees need to be bent, they can bend. If your toes need to be up, they're up. It's how it feels good for you. Then take a moment and bend the right knee and extend and move it to the left. And just walk out your dog. We've done lots of dog walks in this house. In fact, most of the people that are on the screen have done a good number of dog walks over the last few days. One more breath here, then settle your dog. If you're not already up on your toes, come up high on your toes, push those hips up even more. The head should be hanging loosely between the arms. Maybe shake your head yes, shake your head no. Release the heels back down. Inhale, toes back up, hips up. Exhale, release the heels down. One more time, inhale the toes up, and then very slowly walk your feet to meet your hands. Once here, make sure your feet are about hip bone width apart. Again, I'm only turning directions so that you can get a better visual. You are not turning directions. If you're not sure what hip bone width is, then your 2 fists between your feet is usually a pretty good measure. This is about hip bone width. Then take your arms, opposite hands over opposite elbow, and just hang. If you can hang here with straight legs, then good for you. You have very loose hamstrings. If you are like me, your legs are most likely going to bend. This is called ragdoll. Go ahead and shift from side to side, like a ragdoll. One more inhale here. Release the hands to the mat, heel toe the feet back together. Bend your knees a lot, place the hands above the knees, come rolling up, arching the back, all the way up to standing. You are now in what's called mountain pose. You would think this would be the easiest of all the poses, but it's probably one of the most complicated. Depending on your bone structure, your arm structure is going to depend on where your arms go. When I place my arms out, they have a tendency to float a little bit away from my body. Some people might have their arms here. You don't want your shoulders up. You want them down and away from the ears. Chest straight forward. Legs straight, but a little bit loose. Your mountain pose is strong like a mountain. If someone were to walk over and try to push you, you should not be able to move more than just a couple of inches. You are rooted through your feet in your mountain pose. If you think your shoulders are up, then just maybe tap them, bring them down. Inhale the arms above your head. When you inhale above the head, don't lift those shoulders. Keep the shoulders down along the back. Exhale, hands down to prayer. Inhale the arms back up. This time on the exhale, maybe you slightly back bend. Don't go farther than you can. Inhale back up. Exhale the arms to the side. Put them on your lower back. Put them right here on your sacrum. See if you can bend a little farther. Feel a little safer with your hands here along your back. Maybe the head falls. Inhale, return to standing. Inhale those arms up. Bind the left wrist with your right hand. Move over, crescent lunge, like a crescent moon. Inhale to center. Switch the wrist. Bend to the left, crescent moon. Inhale up. Exhale, swan dive down. On a swan dive, legs are straight, back is straight, arms are out. Forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift, flat back. Your back should be flat on this lift. It shouldn't be here. If you can't reach a flat back with your hands on the mat, then put your hands on your knees. It's the same thing. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees a lot. Place the hands above the knees. Roll up to standing. Inhale the arms high. Exhale, goalpost or cactus arms, like a goalpost. Feel the shoulder blades pull down the back. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, up. Exhale, one more time, cactus. Inhale the arms up high. Exhale, arms behind you. If you are capable of clasping your hands, great. If not, this is where your belt or your strap comes in handy. You can use that strap to put your hands wherever they need to be. If you want your hands to be closer, you can walk them in. If your hands are here, that's great. Roll those shoulders down the back. Keep them away from the ears. Keep the arms straight. Take a nice inhale. And on the exhale, bend the knees, fold over. Maybe your arms stay here on your lower back. Maybe you press them forward. Holding here for 3, 2, 1. Take a nice inhale. Exhale the arms to the mat. Straighten the legs, straighten the back, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. This time on the way up, I want you to reverse your swan dive, keeping your legs straight, keeping your back straight, arms out to the side. Reverse that swan dive up. Hands extend overhead. We exhale to prayer. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, interlock them behind you. Take a nice inhale, maybe a small back bend. Exhale, bend the knee, fold over. Press those arms forward. Exhale, hands to the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse that swan dive. Exhale, hands to heart center. So again, I'm only turning directions so that you can see me at a better view. On the next inhale, you're going to drop the knees, lift the arms, Utkatasana, like a lightning bolt, like Harry Potter's scar, like a lightning bolt. Arms are close to the ears. Knees are straight forward, hips are facing forward. Weight is in the back. You should be able to lift your toes. In fact, take a look down. Can you see your toes? If you cannot see your toes and you are too far forward, move yourself back a little, look for those toes. Then settle the toes, settle the gaze, keep the arms up, tight to your ears, sit lower if you can. Rise up to mountain, release the arms. Take a quick little waterfall here, shake it out. Inhale the arms back up. Exhale, bring the arms down. Inhale, Utkatasana. Again, sit back. Take a moment here and put your hands on your hips. Rotate your pelvis back and forth. Feel what's comfortable for you in this position. Never stick it too far out. You might find compression in the lower back. Maybe you prefer your pelvis a little bit forward. You like the roundness that's back here. It's a different position for everyone. It depends entirely on your back structure, your bone structure, and what's comfortable. I did yoga this way for years and found it is much more comfortable here. I like a slight tilt forward, a straight line. Return the hands to the knees, or arms to the ears, hands to the knees. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Hands to heart center. On the inhale, sit down, Utkatasana. Again, keep that weight back. Exhale, hands to prayer. Your hands will stay at your chest. The goal is always to have your hands at chest. We're going to look to the right and twist. Notice my knees don't move, my hips don't move, only the upper body moves to the right. Come back to center. Twist to the right. Come back to center. One more time, twist to the right. If you've been practicing yoga for a while or you're particularly flexible, you might be able to hook that right arm and twist. But notice my hands are still at heart center. If your hands are up here, do not make that hook. Only make that hook if your hands are at heart center. Go ahead and open the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees a lot. Put the hands on top of the knees. Come rolling up to standing. Take a quick waterfall. Shake it out. Legs are doing a lot of work here. We return to mountain. Inhale, Utkatasana. Knees are forward, hips are forward, arms are straight up next to my ears. Bring the hands to prayer. This time we're going to turn to the left. If this is as far as you go, this is as far as you go. The knees stay straight, the hips stay straight. If everything turns, it defeats the purpose. Return to center. Twist to the left. Return to center. One more time. Twist left. Remember, you should be able to lift those toes in front because we're sitting back. Maybe you hook the elbow. Open those arms. Take a nice deep inhale in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to your halfway lift. Place your hands on the mat in front of you. Walk back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, up on your toes. Lift those hips. Exhale, come forward, high plank. Inhale the hips up high. Drop the heels on the exhale. Downward dog. If high plank is a little too hard for you, Then you come up on the toes for down dog. You drop the knees. You come forward, high plank on your knees. There is just as much work in a high plank on their knees as there is a high plank on your feet. The same movement, same core strength, just different. Inhale back up, downward facing dog. Exhale, bring the heels down. Inhale, toes up. Exhale, high plank. Inhale, hips up. Exhale, toes down. This time, walk the hands back to meet the feet. Take a moment to hang here, ragdoll. Place the hands under the mat. Take the first 2 fingers and grip your big toe. Padahastasana. Bend the knees, flat back. Forward fold, pull with your 2 fingers to see if you can stretch those hamstrings just a little bit more. Inhale, release the hands, release the bind. Bend the knees, hands above the knees, come rolling up to standing. Inhale the arms up high. Exhale, swan dive down. Walk your hands back out in front. Downward facing dog. Bring the right leg up behind you. See if you can lift it as high as you can. Maybe it's only to here. Maybe it's all the way up. Come up on your left toes, round your back as you bring your right foot through to meet your hands, runner's lunge. Again, blocks might be helpful here. Ground yourself through that front foot and through those back toes. Knee above ankle, rise up, crescent lunge. We did this in a low lunge position before. Now we're in a crescent lunge position. Your strength is all below you. Your arms aren't doing a whole lot. Your strength is all here. If someone comes walking over and pushes you, your base is here. Ground through that front foot, ground through that back foot. We reach our arms up. Exhale, bring the hands back to the mat. Push the right foot back. Step back, downward dog. Extend the left leg up behind you. Point the toe, reach as high as you can. Come up on the right toes, arch that back, bring the foot as close as you can between your hands. Ground through that front foot, solid through that back toe. On the inhale, we rise, crescent lunge, making sure those shoulders are away from ears. Feeling that strength in our legs, building the strength in those legs. Take a couple of good breaths here. On the exhale, bring the hands down. Step that left foot back to meet the right. Pull back, downward facing dog. Drop to your knees, tabletop, flip the toes, push back, child's pose. Maybe we wrap the hands behind for a little bit of embryo. We've been working pretty hard. Let's bring our hands back out in front of us. Take a nice inhale up to tabletop. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up behind you. Come up on those right toes, arch that back, step forward between the hands. Drop the back foot so that it's at a 45-degree angle. You don't want it parallel to the back of the mat. You want it at about a 45-degree angle. Solid through the front foot, ankle and knee aligned. We rise up, warrior one. Warrior one is a strong pose, a strengthening pose. Everything from the hips down is solid. Hips are shining forward, arms next to ears. We release those shoulders down the back, keep them away from the ears. We take an inhale, and on the exhale, we turn the back foot to be parallel with the mat. We turn the hips to face the side, warrior two. Knee is still above the front foot. The front foot doesn't move, just that back foot moved. It is parallel to that back line of the mat. You are pushing through the back side of your foot. Hips are facing to the side, shoulders are above the hips, arms are extended. You should be able to see your front toes if you look just slightly down. If you cannot see them, then your knee is too far forward. Go ahead and move that knee far forward and notice how it feels. It doesn't feel good. It's not good for your knee. It's not comfortable. Pull it back. Don't let that front knee collapse in. Don't let that front knee come in. Keep that front knee out, rolling out through the side. Straighten the front leg, raise the arm, gentle warrior. It's a nice little reprieve. Take an inhale. On the exhale, warrior two. Inhale, gentle warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Windmill the arms back to the mat. Turn the toes up on the back foot. Step your right foot behind, high plank. If you are a practice yogi and would like to chaturanga, now is a great time. If not, pull back, downward facing dog. If you are not sure what a chaturanga is, that is a low push-up. Flip the toes, upward facing dog, pull back, downward facing dog. Excellent work. Lift the right leg up behind you. Step it between your hands, lift that back toes up, arch the foot, or arch the back, bring that foot through. Drop that back foot to a 45-degree angle. Solid in the front foot, ankle and knee aligned. On the inhale, we rise up, warrior one. Taking a moment to breathe here. Making sure those shoulders are away from ears, arms are strong, base is strong. Take a nice inhale. On the exhale, spin the back foot to be parallel with the back of the mat. Hips turn, shoulders turn, arms turn, warrior two. The front leg does not move. We keep that knee above the ankle, 90 degrees. Inhale, straighten that leg, lift the arms, gentle warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, gentle warrior. Exhale, warrior two. One more time, inhale, gentle warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Bring your hands to the mat. Step that right foot back, or pull back to down dog, or chaturanga. Drop to the knees, tuck the toes, embryo. Now is a great time to have a drink of water if it's nearby. Do you want yours? Go ahead and make your child's pose a bit more active. Stick those arms out. Take a nice inhale up to tabletop. Tuck the toes, bend the knees, push the hips up, downward facing dog. Walk your feet to the front of the mat. Fold, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Reverse your swan dive. Come all the way up. Hands meet at heart center. You're going to want to block nearby, especially if your balance isn't great. I'm using a medium saucepan at the moment because Harry's over there. You're gonna shift the weight into your right foot. So keeping your hands at heart center, you're gonna shift the weight into your right foot, and you're gonna lift your left leg into tree. Now you can use the block to balance the foot on, or you can place the foot against your thigh, or you can pull the foot in all the way up top. The only place the foot should never be is on the knee. It's not safe on the knee. So on the block, on the shin, all the way up to the thigh. Set a point to be your drishti, some place that you're staring that is not moving. I am not a drishti point. I am clearly moving. So look away from the screen, maybe look at the floor. On the inhale, grow your tree. Holding here for 3, 2, 1. Release the hands to heart center, release the foot. Bring your arms to your sides, give it a shake back and forth. Standing waterfall or dragon tails. It seems to depend on the instructor what this is called. I've known it as waterfall, but I kind of like dragon tails. It's fun. Return to mountain. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, hands to prayer. We're going to repeat tree on the other side. So shift the weight into the left foot. Bring that right leg either to your shin or to your thigh or on that block. I cannot get my shin, I can't get my foot up to my thigh on this side. My hips just do not allow it. So I'll hold here. On the inhale, grow your tree. Again, keep that drishti point. For 3, 2, 1. Release the foot, release the hands to prayer. Lovely. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, drop the hands to the mat. Step back to your high plank. Again, if you need to drop to your knees, drop to your knees. Holding that high plank, lift the left foot and bring it down. Lift the right and bring it down. If you're on your knees, then you're lifting that left knee, bringing it down. Lifting the left knee, bringing it down. Whichever one. Repeat for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and one more, because I should have started with 6s. We have 2 feet and they're even. Drop the knees if you haven't already, and slowly lower all the way down to the mat. Placing your hands underneath your shoulders, ever so slightly lift up baby cobra. Try not to use the hands for weight, they're just there for balance. Exhale, release. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale one more time, baby cobra. Exhale, release. Bring the arms behind you. On the inhale, lift the chest, lift the arms. Exhale, release. On the inhale, lift the chest, lift the arms, lift the feet. Superman. Exhale, release. Wiggle the hips from side to side. Those low back bends are tough on the back. And we'll do that one more time. Return to stillness. On the inhale, lift the chest, arms and feet. Superman. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Wiggle those hips. Place the hands under the shoulders. Come back up through tabletop all the way back to child's pose. Perfect. Inhale back up to tabletop, and then have a seat on your mat. Keep your feet out in front, legs bent, Arms out. We slowly lower. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the left leg bent. Cross the right foot over the left leg. Figure 4 position. Use your right hand to press against that leg. Maybe you rock from side to side. Lift the left leg up, support it with the left hand. If you can't reach it with your left hand, use your straps. Place the strap behind that knee, pressing with the right hand, holding with the left. Feel it in your piriformis. Maybe you circle around clockwise. Maybe you circle counterclockwise. It's whatever feels good on your hip. Take a nice inhale, and on the exhale, keeping this position, drop it all the way over to the left. See if you can touch the floor with that right foot. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, over to the right. Inhale, back to center. Release the right leg. Release the strap. Cross the left foot over the right. Figure 4. Press against that left leg with your left hand, feeling that hip opener. Maybe you hold here. Maybe you rock from side to side. Lift that right leg up. Support it with either your right hand or your strap. Pressing against that knee still, continuing to open that hip. Maybe you do a few circles. If you're making circles, make sure you change the direction of that circle. Maybe you rock from side to side. Take a nice inhale, and on the exhale, bring the legs over to the right. See if you can get that left foot to touch the floor. Inhale back to center. Exhale over to the left. Inhale back to center. Release both legs to the mat. Keeping your feet hip bone distance apart, see if you can walk your heels back so that you can just about touch them with your hand and not knock yourself out with the soft spot that's still there. Keeping the hands firmly on the ground, press through the heels, lift up into your bridge. Feel those hips shine forward. Feel the strength through your feet. Your hands are just there for support. They should be able to move. You don't want to grip the mat with them. Exhale, lower down, one vertebrae at a time. Roll your back all the way down. Put the soles of your feet together. Spread the knees to the side. Take your two hands over your head like a rag doll. Supta Baddha Konasana. It's a fun position and a fun name. Return the feet to hip bone width apart, arms to the side. We lift up one more time into our bridge. On the exhale, we roll slowly down, one vertebrae at a time. Again, we put those soles of the feet together, let the knees spread apart, opposite hand over opposite elbow, keeping that lower back to the mat. Inhale the knees to the chest, give them a nice hug. Give them a little roll on the clockwise direction and a counterclockwise direction. This works out those kinks in the lower back. Return to center. Using those first two fingers that we used before, grip your big toe. Maybe you hold here. Maybe you extend the right leg just a little and extend the left just a little. Happy baby. You can rock from side to side. Maybe you just do one leg at a time. You keep the right leg bent and the left leg in. Make sure you switch. Maybe you extend the right leg all the way straight and the left all the way straight. Wide angle. Again, maybe you rock from side to side, whatever feels good here for you. We talk about inversions in yoga, and we think that inversions mean that it has to be a handstand or a headstand or some sort of ridiculous pretzel-like pose. This is an inversion. Laying here with your feet up in the air like a dead bug is an inversion because your feet are above your heart. Take a nice inhale, release the toes, bring the knees into the chest. Send the left leg long, keep the right leg in. Pull the right leg out just a little bit towards the shoulder. Then use your left hand to bring the right leg over to the other side, extending that right arm, looking over the right shoulder, full body twist. If you can reach that knee all the way over, great. If you need a block underneath, great. Whatever works best for you. Inhale back to center. Give that knee one more hug. Take a deep breath in. Sigh it out on the exhale, full body stretch. Bring the left knee in. Hug it into your chest. Pull it outside to the shoulder. Drop the left arm over. Use the right to pull the knee. Look over that left arm. Full body stretch. Inhale back to center. Give that knee a nice big hug. Take a deep breath in. Sigh it out, full body stretch. Bring the arms down along beside you. Settle in for your Shavasana, the best part of yoga. Try to wipe your mind of any thoughts, any feelings. Just breathe, just be. Start to bring awareness to the space around you. Maybe wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Roll over onto your right side when you're ready. And bring yourself up to a seated posture. Bring our hands to heart center. I am not an omer. I am not one that generally ohms in a class, before class or after class, so I'm sorry if you expected an ohm today. It's not my style, but I do have a little reading for you. Yoga is about clearing away whatever is in us that prevents our lives in the most full and whole way. With yoga, we become aware of how and where we are restricted in the body, in the mind, and in the heart, and how gradually to open and release these blockages. As these blockages are cleared, our energy is free. We start to feel more harmonious, more at one with ourselves. Our lives begin to flow, and we begin to flow in our lives. If you have the ability to turn on your video and your sound, that would be great. I would love to see your face as we close out class. Some of you are on. That's okay. There's mom and dad, there's Sue. Excellent. With your hands at heart center, make kind words, or may you have kind feelings towards others. Bring your hands to your lips, kind words for others. and your thumbs to your third eye. May we have kind thoughts. We bow to one another and say, Namaste.
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 Thank you for the privilege of being your teacher on this random Monday 2:00 afternoon.
Thank you, Stace.
No problem. Jackie texted Namaste. Jackie doesn't have the ability to turn on her video and sound, so she texted Namaste to everyone. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Stace.
Thanks, Stace.